This is your News Source Evening Bulletin for today, Thursday, the 14th day of January in the year 2021. I'm Gordon Mosley. Here's what we're tracking tonight. The Director of Public Prosecutions has advised the Guyana Police Force to go ahead with murder charges against 3 West Coast Berbice men for the murders of Joel and Isaiah Henry. The 3 men who are expected to face charges as early as tomorrow have been identified as Anil Sanchara, Vinod Gopal, and Akash Singh. 2 of the men, Sanchara and Gopal, are to be charged jointly, while Singh will face his own murder charge. News source understands that the police made a major breakthrough in its investigations in the past few days, after one of the men who was being closely watched as a suspect admitted to the crime. The teenage cousins Isaiah and Joel Henry were found murdered in the Cotton Tree Back Dam, West Coast Berbice, one day after they went to pick coconuts in the number 3 village Back Dam back in September. Their bodies were found mutilated and with multiple chop wounds, including slashes to their necks and backs. The bodies also appear to have been moved from the scene of the crime and placed in another area where they were eventually discovered. The double murder led to days of protest action on the west coast of Berbice, as family members and villagers demanded justice. Just recently, family members picketed the Criminal Investigations Department of the police force over the lack of updated information on the investigations. The Guyana Police Force has been receiving assistance with its probe from the Regional Security System and the U.S. Federal Bureau of Investigations. More news coming up in just a moment.
People we have
weathered every storm
and risen to every challenge.
Because it is the people of Guyana
that gives it its strength.
all the people,
regardless of race,
class, or religion.
We are one people, one strength.
And now is our time. A time to rise. Together, we rise.
Comfort Inn and Guest House is your home away from home. Located at 1277 Central Amelius Ward, we offer comfortable, affordable, air-conditioned, self-contained apartments with high-speed wireless internet access to make your stay luxurious. Whether you're overnighting, spending the weekend or longer, you're guaranteed satisfaction. Our hospitality is second to none. Rent our newly installed deck for your wedding, birthday party, or any other occasion. Call us today on 442-4186 or 672-2035 or 684-9009 for bookings and more information. R&R Comfort Inn and Guest House, where your comfort comes first.
Elite Fragrances and Tradings is your destination for the most luxurious deodorant, perfume, cologne, body spray, sunglasses, wallet, belt, spas, men hair products, and much more. Elite Fragrances and Tradings, 123 Regent Road border between Ornock Street and Shiv Chandapal Drive. You can contact us on 619-5151 or 227-1255. The perfect fragrance is the ultimate accessory.
I wanna be a Super 95 millionaire.
You can be a Super 95 millionaire this Christmas when you purchase $3,000 or more Super 95 fuel from Guyana service stations. Enter to win one of 2 first prizes of $1 million plus weekly cash prizes up to $500,000. That's not all. Each week until January 15, 2021, you can also have a chance to win smart TVs, tablets, shopping vouchers, and so much more. So hurry down to the nearest Guyana service station and spend $3,000 or more on Super 95 fuel, and you can be a Super 95 millionaire. Press for more details.
Mom, what are you doing with GPL on your list?
Child, you forgot I have to pay GPL?
You got time with GPL?
I have to keep these lights on. The customers who think in that manner and refuse to honor their obligation to GPL are obviously not playing their part in ensuring quality service delivery. So, I will continue to pay my GPL bill on time, every time.
I recognize the value of your point, Mom. You were right.
Screams of anguish from relatives filled the air in Little Diamond this morning as a 26-year-old woman got trapped in her house as fire ripped through the building. She never made it out. The dead woman has been identified as Crystal Chung. Firemen were called to the scene early this morning after a blaze was noticed in the house. The fire quickly swept through the house, and while a sister and other relatives were able to escape, the 26-year-old woman got trapped in her bedroom with no way out. Some family members and neighbors attempted to get into the house to rescue her, but they were backed away by the fire. Firemen were unable to reach the woman in time. The entire top flat of the house was completely gutted. Some family members suffered burns.
See the whole place there and the fire there. We run to she assistance, but the fire was too much there, couldn't get for do nothing. Fire went too much. The fire like it started from she room. And we got to the assistance, but nothing couldn't be done. We burned. It start from the right hand side of the building. Yeah, well, them man come quick, them man do them job what they could do, but the house in flame too quick. Them man do them best. Them fireman try them best. They couldn't do nothing more.
It is suspected that the fire might have started from the same room where it is believed the woman might have been sleeping. A full investigation is underway tonight. Let's tell you now that while not divulging details of the plan, President Irfan Ali announced today that his government will be moving to construct 1,000 new homes in the Region 10 area. The president and a number of senior government ministers traveled to Linden today for a cabinet outreach in the Watuka area. During a meeting with community leaders, President Ali said the move will assist in the creation of jobs in Linden and other Region 10 communities. Lindeners and other Region 10 residents have been complaining about the long time it takes for them to be granted land for housing and business development. The president also said the intention of the housing development plan is to tap into the skills of residents as well as to source the building materials from the community. Region 10 residents were also told that the government will be moving to unveil several other plans in an effort to create more jobs in the Region 10 area. With effect from tomorrow, the United Kingdom will be banning arrivals in the country from Brazil and a number of other South American countries, including Guyana, over concerns about the new coronavirus variant in Brazil. The British Transportation Minister Grant Shapps made the announcement today. He announced his urgent decision to ban arrivals from Argentina, Brazil, Bolivia, Cape Verde, Chile, Colombia, Ecuador, French Guyana, Panama, Paraguay, Peru, Suriname, Uruguay, and Venezuela. Portugal was also added to the banned list because of close travel links with Brazil. Workers transporting essential goods from Portugal will be exempted. The transportation minister said the new measures would not apply to British and Irish nationals and third country nationals with residence rights, but passengers returning from those destinations must isolate for 10 days. Since a number of new variants of coronavirus have been found in the UK, a number of countries in the Caribbean and other parts of the world have also banned flights from the United Kingdom. The Guyana National Bureau of Standards has ordered the destruction of more than 4,500 imported light switches, which were found to be inadequately labeled and lacked the required certification mark. The items were destroyed yesterday in the presence of GNBS inspectors. According to the GNBS, the items were imported by a city importer back in November and were inspected since then and declared not in compliance with requirements of the national standards. The standards body noted that in the absence of the requisite certification mark and labeling, the importer was required to provide the GNBS with an authentic test certificate, indicating that the light switches met quality requirements. the importer was unable to do so, forcing the steps to destroy the substandard items. Last February, the Guyana National Bureau of Standards commenced the monitoring of a number of electrical fittings and equipment based on the requirements of 31 mandatory national standards.
Been through it all.
But as a people, we have
Weathered every storm.
And risen to every challenge.
Because it is the people of Guyana
That gives it its strength.
all the people,
regardless of race,
class, or religion.
We are one people, one strength.
And now is our time. A time to rise. Together, we rise.
Due to the impacts of the global pandemic, COVID-19 across our nation, essential organizations like us have chosen to adopt innovative approaches to meet the emerging needs of our customers while protecting our employees. Here are some quick tips to make managing your GPL bill easier while we practice social distancing. To register for electronic billing, you can use the e-billing tab on your website. To access your bill balance, you can use 4 options: the website live chat at gpl.net, the online inquiry on our website under billing, SMS freedom by texting your GPL reference number to 624-0400 or 608-8400, or call our call center at 226-2600. A message from the Guyana Power and Light Incorporated.
We are legions of men standing strong, but never too proud to stoop and help someone. We must send a clear signal to all. Do right, walk in upright ways, knowing that's what being a man is all about. And ever aware that things will only get worse when good men do nothing. Stand strong. Be the one to live right.
Across the region right now, Brazil's health ministry said yesterday that vaccination of the country's population against COVID-19 will begin with vaccines imported from China and India, as soon as their emergency use has been approved by the health regulator in Brazil, Anvisa, which is planned for this Sunday. Vaccination of the country's population will take 16 months at most, according to the country's deputy health minister. Brazil is sending a plane to import 2 million doses of the AstraZeneca Oxford University vaccine made by India's Serum Institute and has already imported 6 million doses of the Coronavac vaccine made by China's Sinovac Biotech. Nicaragua is in talks with Russia's Gamaleya Institute to acquire the Sputnik V COVID vaccine, the Pan American Health Organization has announced. The poor Central American nation is among the Latin American countries with least vaccines pre-ordered to tackle the coronavirus pandemic. PAHO said that Nicaragua will also begin receiving vaccines through the COVAX facility coordinated by the World Health Organization to support lower-income countries as of March. The Sputnik vaccine talks have added to a flurry of interest from left-wing Latin American governments, with Mexico and Bolivia joining early adopter Argentina in trying to lock down supplies of the Russian vaccine. And finally tonight, international news. U.S. President Donald Trump faces trial in the Senate after becoming the first U.S. president to be charged with misconduct in office for a second time. Mr. Trump is accused of inciting a mob that stormed Congress last week after he repeated false claims of election fraud. 5 people died. The trial will be held after the president leaves office next Wednesday. If Mr. Trump is convicted, senators could also vote to bar him from ever holding public office again. The trial follows Wednesday's vote in the House of Representatives that formally charged or impeached the president with incitement of insurrection for his role in the riot. The Republican president has rejected responsibility for the violence. In a video released by the White House after the vote, he called on his supporters to remain peaceful without mentioning his impeachment. And that's your News Source Evening Bulletin for tonight. I'm Gordon Mosley reporting.